right. We're with Sinead O'Connor, and with your music, because it's you write from an autobiographical perspective, we've really watched your growth as an artist in the last 10 years, and with the new album, the songs are very serene, love songs, lullabies. How does this reflect your current life?
I guess they're love songs and lullabies, and they're also hymns, and they're also nationalist songs, but chiefly for me they're hymns, which is why it's called Gospel Oak. The oak being a symbol of the worship of God as a mother, it's the gospel of the mother. So I guess except they're hymns not in the traditional sense of normally us speak. Normally hymns are us speaking to God, but they're what I imagine God would say if God were to speak to us. So I guess it reflects my life in that I wrote the songs in order to call these things into my life, in order to create serenity and soothing and healing and calming in my own life, basically. So.
It really expresses a lot of compassion for people, and your music has always done that. Have you been able to learn compassion for yourself and loving yourself? Has this been a difficult process for you as a human on Earth?
Yeah, it is. I think it's very difficult for everybody. I think it can be made more difficult for people who are brought up to believe that they're nothing. So yeah, it's been difficult for me, but it's something I'm lucky enough to be able to work on. So.
And the mother, the idea of exploring the mother side of Christianity, when that is so downplayed.
Yeah, not just Christianity, but just the whole idea of God the Mother. I mean, the Jews used to worship God the Mother also.
Is that right?
Yeah.
This is way before.
Yeah, which is what this symbol is about. It's called the Magda David, and with the dot symbolizes the presence of God. The two triangles symbolize the union of the masculine and the feminine principles of God. Without the dot, it symbolizes chaos. With the dot is the presence of God, which exists when you have that union between the masculine and the feminine. And chaos exists, as we see all over the world, when there's an overdose of testosterone and then not enough compassion and feminine principle. So.
And there you go, that icon explained. The mother aspect as well. A lot of people who are parents tell me that it's a real selfless act to have a child. And you've had a child when you were a child. Yeah. It seems like you've been a mother for a very long time. Has that helped does that selflessness help your journey as a person? Yes,
it definitely, in my case anyway, kept my feet much more on the ground than they might have been otherwise, even though they still dwarf a bit. But I mean, it meant I couldn't go and do drugs if I wanted to, or I couldn't spend days drinking if I wanted to. Contrary to popular belief, I've never been involved in those things. And I think that's because I have children. But it can sometimes be a very selfish act to have a child. People don't always have children for the right reasons.
Yeah, my friend and I were talking about how, some people are born out of love, but often a lot of people aren't born. They sort of fall on the periphery, either side. Also, I've always admired the way that in the media you have always spoken your mind, and you've always fought for what you believed in, and oftentimes, the press may have misinterpreted you or drawn upon what you say as negatively. Do you feel media shy after having been basically, you could say, in some regards, crucified by the media in some of the accounts that they've dealt with you?
Well, I have to accept 50% of the responsibility for all of that stuff. You can't blame it entirely, and I can't blame it entirely on other people. You get what you attract. So I don't really want to get into blaming anybody else about it. It's a question now of what do I want now to call into my life as represented, say, by my music. I don't attract that anymore, so I have nothing to be afraid of.
That audaciousness at one point, it's gone, it's behind you, that defiance, or is it defiance still there?
I think passion and love is where I was always coming from, and I'm still coming from there, but I'm 30 years of age now as compared to when I put out my first record. I was 20, and I now understand, I guess, I'm very proud of myself, so I want to be careful how I word things, because I'm very, very proud of what I did and what I didn't do. But I now understand, I guess, the value of whispering things rather than screaming them, that people don't hear very well when you scream in their faces, But sometimes, you know, the man who does not lose his mind over some things has no mind to lose. You know, if you didn't scream your head off, sometimes, you know, you might go mad. So.
Because it's not without bite. Sometimes you don't have to scream, as you say.
Well, sometimes you don't have to, but sometimes you do have to as well, is the thing. And the point, I mean, how you get to the point of being calm in any way is by puking it all out, you know what I mean? And that's why, you know, I'm quite glad about everything that I did do, but now it's puked out and I don't need to go on about it, you know. I just want to basically enjoy my life and work, you know.
It's really great to see you performing. Like, you seem really centered, as opposed to, like, expending a lot of energy outward. You're like, your eyes are down, and it really feels like you're inside your own space.
Yeah, well, I have to be to sing. I'm very shy, so I have to get into my own space and pretend that you're all not there, kind of, or I can't do it.
In 1987, when you first emerged in the popular mainstream, it was like, wow, who is this person? She's like a supernova. You were wild, confident. You had that defiance. You had that vulnerability. You were an anomaly at that point. You really stood out, and you were a huge influence to a lot of creators and subsequent creators in pop music, from PJ Harvey to Alanis Morissette. Do you acknowledge your groundbreaking influence on these artists?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you like where pop music is heading? What's some of the stuff that you're listening to these days?
I like all the very sexy R&B stuff. Particularly I like this woman called Missy Elliott, who's just put her record out there about a week ago. I love all that sexy stuff. I like all the R. Kelly stuff before the Gotham City.
So soul singers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you sing of God a lot in the album. And what is God to you?
I think that God, I always put in inverted commas, nobody knows what it is, and I know just the same amount as anybody else, which is nothing. I think though, and feel that it's lots and lots and lots of things, and one of the things that it is I think one's own subconscious, another part of oneself that one isn't always in contact with, but which is always trying to get in contact with us, and does, I think, through music as well as some other way. But I guess God is love now.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. So.
In Petit Poulet, you say that religion doesn't provide answers.
I think religion, like music, can't save the world, but what it can do is put its arms around you and comfort you and help you to get through the world. But it can't tell you, they've never met God any more than you or I have. Do you know what I mean? They can't tell you, any more than you can tell yourself.
So if God is over there and there's all this crap in between us and ourselves as God, is life sort of a stripping away of all that stuff? And how do you do it?
Well, I don't think God is over there, you see. I think God is in there. And that's what you need to maybe strip away, is the idea that God is over there. That's why I like, say, Rastafarianism, for example. It to me teaches that where other religions say God is over there or God is dead, it says God is in there and God is alive.
We just don't recognize it.
We're embarrassed to, and we've been brought up to deny things that are inside us, and we've had to in order to survive certain things, but now is the age when it's safe to remember, is all. So.
What are the similarities and differences between, say, Rastafarianism and Christianity?
Well, I guess the one love theory,
Okay, and we go from God to Chris Christopherson. Sort of a big leap there.
No.
When I saw the new video, it was like, well, she's still shocking, but in a different way. There you are with long hair and in bed with Chris Christopherson, his big back there. So what your relationship with Chris Christopherson, and what made you think of that video idea?
It was actually the director's idea.
Oh, really?
John Mabry, who has made most of my videos. The song is a love song. It is about a man in the first place, and it's also a hymn, as I said. But the worship of God as a mother is very sexual, and that's why it's a hymn and also a sexy song. So John thought, well, okay, we have to have lovemaking, and they were going to get like all photographs of models, and I didn't really fancy that. I rather sleep with people I know, really, Plus, I generally like guys that are older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we were trying to think of a nice kind of, sexy old guy that I knew, that was someday attractive.
Was it difficult to convince him?
No,
I bet not.
It was pretty easy. It was pretty easy.
How was it to have all that long hair, too? Because you're always...
It was good and bad. I mean, I didn't enjoy that it wasn't mine. I'd like my own long hair, you know. But it was nice. It felt kind of sexy and everything. But I felt more comfortable being myself, you know.
But you kept your pajamas on?
I was wearing half of them and he was wearing the other half.
Oh! Okay, we're going to take a look at the video and also more of your performance. Thank you very much and good luck with all the stuff that you do.